The world is better for you being in it. You have such a huge amount to offer, and give your obligation inquires as to whether you're coming to aloofness. It imagining that is telling you that pretty much nothing has any meaning, and that individuals suck. You're getting it wrong. Marcus Aurelius and the remainder of the Stoics who were not that different are clearly discouraged and dim, right? I say. That's what my contention is. Assuming that is your view of apathy, you are absent the entire way of thinking leading, we should simply take a gander at Marcus's life. It was dim. This is a person who covers numerous youngsters. This is a person who encounters a plague and war and medical problems. It was an endless flow of calamities, but Marcus Aurelius persisted through it. I'll give you my #1 entry and reflection in Book 5. Imprint says at first light, when you experience difficulty getting out of bed, let yourself know I need to go to function as an individual. What do I need to grumble of in the event that I'm going to go do what I was brought into the world for, the things I was brought into this world to do? I wasn't put here to group under the covers and be warm, he composes. Don't you see the plants and the birds and the subterranean insects and the bugs generally going about their singular undertakings, putting the world all together overall quite well? He rebukes himself for not adoring himself enough. He says, you got to adore your inclination as well, and what it requests of you. He says, you have to assist with peopling. He plainly treasured the individuals around him, and what did he gain from them? He figured out how to fare thee well of himself. He figured out how to partake in the upside things in life. He figured out how to be of administration to other people. And he learned the majority of all the significance and the force of affection. What's more, thoughtfulness and sympathy. This is scarcely the deadpan, dull, discouraging reasoning that aloofness is made out to be it. Truth be told, it's something contrary to that in pretty much every manner, something like 80 times in Contemplations. Marcus' genuine discussions about serving the benefit of everyone. He's saying, quit contemplating your own issues, quit contemplating what you're going through, quit zeroing in on yourself. He says, don't for a moment even be caught wind of grumbling to yourself. Ponder what your obligation and your commitments to other people, which is one of the most amazing ways of getting out of your own head and to stop fixating on your concerns. This sort of poor me, one of the manners in which we get out of that is 1, by taking the huge image of you, yet 2, by zeroing in on another person's concerns. Such a large amount, our current comprehension of satisfaction, is indistinguishable from joy from things being the manner in which we maintain that they should go, the manner in which we maintain that they should be. I think Marcus Royce and the Stoics would have viewed satisfaction as something closer to how Aristotle considered it to be a human thriving, as wiping out the things that cause misery. Correct? Narrow-mindedness, flippancy, carelessness, sick discipline, the understudies perceived as Viktor Frankl said, that satisfaction isn't something you seek after something results. So Mark had the option to track down joy, regardless of what was occurring around him, since he said, look, it's dependably there, it's inside you, right? It's there, you says there's this air pocket of goodness inside every one of us that is rising, it is consistently superb and astonishing. Since life isn't generally brilliant and astounding, it's not continuously going to go the way that you believe it should go. It simply isn't on the off chance that we just saw what was horrendous. On the off chance that we, as it were, saw the most exceedingly awful in individuals, in the event that we were hallucinating and credulous, and we anticipated all that to magnificent and stun. All the time we will get our asses kicked. However, assuming our glasses were negative, assuming our color on everything was negative and horrible, indeed, then things would have been horrible and negative. Marcus Aurelius accepted that our life was colored by the shade of our viewpoints. So some portion of this center activity of apathy understanding, that you have unique handles, that you can snatch things on, as Incredible Tears said, permits you to see the great in a circumstance versus the terrible in a circumstance. Right? It permits you to see what you can do here, permits you to see what you get to do here, and in numerous ways, for this reason. Marcus Aurelius is composing reflections, in any case. He's attempting to adapt to the way that things aren't simple, that things aren't going the way that he believed them should be. Simply that life is hard to such an extent that enduring is unavoidable. Yet how much endures and what he experiences over that is a decision he has. Thus, the unemotional practice of journaling, like we ought to figure out that Marcus is turning to the pages in reflections for help, so that he doesn't yield to the obscurity, so he continues to go, so he can see an alternate focal point. Emotionlessness was in the old world an activity, a training. It's not only this thing you knew about that you learned in class, it was a thing you were participating in. If your rendition of aloofness is you stuff everything down, you imagine it doesn't exist. Let yourself know you're safe and powerful. When life overpowers you, you will feel that profoundly. Furthermore, incidentally, Mark wouldn't hesitate to inquire for help either. That is one of my most loved entries in Reflections. He says you're similar to a fighter raging a war. So consider the possibility that you need to reach up and ask a confidant for help. That is where the present support comes in. Better Assistance. You can go to their site at the present time. You can utilize my interface better. Help.com, unemotional. You just responded to a couple of inquiries. Furthermore, BetterHelp coordinates you with an authorized advisor who's appropriate to assisting you with whatever you're going through. These are experts who have years' experience treating individuals who are going through what you're proceeding with. Better assist you with getting coordinated with a specialist, normally in no less than 48 hours. So you get begun quick. Let Better assist with interfacing you with a specialist who can uphold all of you from the solace of your own home. Visit betterhelp.com. Day-to-day, apathetic, or pick day-to-day indifferent. During join and partake in an exceptional markdown on your most memorable month. Make it a point to request help. So what? Assuming you want assistance, Marcus Aurelius required it as well. I've required it. I'm certain you could as well. That is betterhelp.com. Day-to-day indifferent. So how about we go to that to some degree? Questionable model is that occasionally individuals hold up as verification that the STS were dull and burdensome. Marx R. opens contemplations. He says, when you conscious in the morning, let yourself know that the individuals I manage today will be interfering and dissatisfied and pompous and deceptive, envious and irresistible indeed from one perspective. It seems like Marcus is simply posting how life smells, and I think we've all awakened and simply believed, this is what I must manage with today. However, Marcus isn't saying like, try not to get up because individuals smell. He's colloquialism. Look, this is the means by which individuals are going to be, so most importantly, we should not be shocked by it. Yet Marcus is attempting to remind himself why he says, look, they have a clue about somewhat worse. He says, I can't allow them to ensnare me in their ugliness. I can't allow them to drag me down, and said I can't fail to remember why I'm here. They're here. We are in general intended to work together. We are in general doing this together. Furthermore, he's attempting to stir himself up, and through this, so once more, seemingly a dull entry in Contemplations is, in fact, a really merry one. Yet in particular Marcus Aurelius, attracted on emotionlessness to get through this trouble, he said it's shameful for the spirit to surrender when the body is as yet pressing onward. As a matter of fact, aloofness is this enabling way of thinking. It's a cheerful way of thinking. It's a empowerment theory is a way of thinking that has faith in your office and your worth and your significance, and it accepts that you can have an effect. Perhaps I'll leave you with this statement at the back of Reflections, because I think to me it depicts Marcus Aurelius's reasonable view of why he was here, and what a decent life, is it true or not, that he was saying to focus on what you have. To do focus on it, remind yourself that your undertaking is to be decent individual. Remind yourself what nature requests of individuals. Then do it without faltering and talking reality as you see it, yet with benevolence and modesty. Without lip service, see consistently, thoroughly free, we convey the everyday unemotional email. It's the biggest local area of Stoics at any point gathered in mankind's set of experiences, and only one unemotional thought, one old example to bite on each single day.